It's here. No one believed me, it was coming on a Sunday. Count the feet. A lot of them. It's a monster. .41 foot, so it fits on the wagon. The drawbar's bolted to the side here, so I'm just going to unbolt that, take these brackets off, and then there's some here as well. The steering's all bolted up. Put the drawbar on there. Got the side knives in the crate on the side, some other spurs. We've got the mini Merlot, I'm going to lift all them off first. And probably pull it off after we bolted the drawbar on with the attachment used for moving the chip around the yard. But the drawbar's really heavy, so we're going to lift that with the forklift off the side where it's bolted on, put it onto the front. I'm just going to try and find my pallet forks now. And they're not where I thought they were. Going to move over to the other side of the yard now, lift the drawbar off, bolt it on the front there, and then we can pull it off with the Merlot. Not easy to unbolt.
Got the flick here.
Yeah.
Drop it on the floor, man. Right, okay.
Been having a good look round it. Find a few things that I'm not that keen on. For instance, this panel here. Like, you see that? Flexes. And this one. That one makes a noise. So I can see when it's running, that'll be. And I'm sure the other one used to have a little bit of rubber in there. So unless it's going to be done on the PDI, but you just feel a bit flimsy. It's made in Hungary, this one, not Germany. I think the other one was made in Germany. But it's surely the Germans designed it anyway. But yeah, I'm just not happy about that. This gearbox and hydraulic pump look incredibly expensive, so we don't want to damage that. But it shouldn't get damaged because it's well away from the end. It's not going to get caught by a hedge. The other thing I never noticed on the demonstrator as well is the stuff comes in here, obviously, into the front of the combine. There's just a plastic guard there. I don't know whether that'll get damaged or wear out eventually, because if you get stuff wrapping, it could hit that. But at least it's cheap to replace, I suppose. And if it was to break, it'd only be a piece of plastic going through the combine. This looks to be improved as well, where you drop the header off, because you couldn't see very well from the cab on the one that we had on the demo. Well, hopefully that now's been extended so you can see better where it's going to be. It's got the LED lights on the back, and then it's also got a load of them. You can't see, can you? I'll go around the front and then you'll see better. It's got one on the end here. It's got a load of them in there, so there's one there, another one there, another one there. Yeah, these are really long as well. Got to watch, got to be set up before we turn it on, because otherwise these are plastic. If they hit inside here, it can cut them off. It's still bolted down. That's quite clever. All them little holes there, then you make it fit on the knife sections and clamp it on. It's also got some clip-on little guards as well, which the other one didn't have, or they've been lost. Got the dividers fastened in here, little short dividers, that's good. Won't hit things, because the header does stick out quite a bit. The knife is permanently kind of right out compared to the other one. Obviously flex is in the middle, that's why it's got the belt. But if you look underneath, these are the hinge points here. So if you look, there's all of them all the way along, so every sort of 2 foot there's one of these. And if you imagine a piano upside down, that's how it works, the piano keys. So they follow the floor like that, and then the belt flexes. So the back of the header stays straight. This doesn't bend, but the front and the knife can do this like a piano key and follow the contours and pick everything up off the floor. Or you can flick a switch in the cab, lock it solid, and then you've got a flat field, off you go. If you have it in flex mode all the time, eventually you'll wear these plastic things out on the front as it's going up and down on the ground, rubbing, a bit like a wearing part on a plough. This all needs putting together because all this linkage isn't on for them, so they just kind of swing around. The header trailer, I've said it before, it's a work of art. It actually hasn't got a swivel underneath. The drawbar pivots on the front there, on this pin, and then it's got a linkage system here, and then the front axle is just like on a car. It steers, it just pivots like that, the front wheels, and down them rods to the back axle, and the back axle does the same. So when you're going around a bend, it'll just kick it out and it'll follow perfectly into the field. So there's a linkage there going to the rear axle, and it's got track rods to the other side to make it steer. The mudguard's on it yet, and then you've obviously got the brake cables here. It's got full 4-wheel braking. Wheels all the same size, so if we need a spare wheel, we only need one. The last one used to have a wheel on the back that was the same size as these, and then the front wheel was very similar to these ones here, which are the ones for the header. Either end of the header's got them wheels, and you can change the pressure that you put on them just to help it follow the ground a little bit better on like rocky ground. But yeah, looks a monster. Just a little bit disappointed in the quality of this. See, I can hear that. I feel like you'll hear that rattling in the cab. But maybe there is little bumper things, little rubber things to go on it. The last header, we put a piece of angle iron here that bolted on to protect this guard from sort of like hedge bottoms and things. I don't know whether it's worth doing it to this one. always see how we get on for a season, see if we get away without any damage. But people have a habit of sowing too close to obstacles like manholes, pylons, bottoms of hedges. So I think for this year, if there's something too close to a hedge or a pylon, it's just going to get missed. It's 12.3 metres, the drill's 12 metres. The reason it's a 0.3 is because the corn can sort of like lean, and if you had a 12 metre header on GPS set to 12 metres, you'd probably miss little bits as the corn leans, so they do an extra foot on it. That's why it's 12.3, so it's 41 foot, just to catch them little bits. This isn't the biggest they do. I think they do a 14 metre now, or at least a 13.8, but it fits with the sprayer and it fits with the drill, so that's the reason I've got a 12.3. The last one was a 10.5, so it's kind of nearly 2 metres bigger, not quite. Quick description of how it works for the children watching. You've got these little blades here that go backwards and forwards, and then they're like little guides that they go through. So if you put a piece of straw there and the knife goes backwards and forwards, it chops it off, a bit like a pair of scissors. So there's loads of little pairs of scissors. And this rake on the top, if you will, the reel, this knocks the corn in over the knife, falls on this conveyor belt. That conveyor belt belts it to the middle, where it falls on another conveyor belt which belts it backwards, and then that auger there with the spiky fingers on, retractable fingers, they push it into the combine, and then at the top, go around the other side, you've got these little other augers at the back there. Any tall crops or something that's bushy like oilseed rape, they push it to the middle, and then this auger feeds it into the combine trunking. So you look at them fingers there, they rake it through, but as they come round, they retract inside and then flick back out again at the top. Basically, this is a circle and these pins are fastened to the back of it, so that turns and they're on a different shaft. So when they're out the front, they stick out, and when they're out the back, they pull in. Called retractable fingers. Dead simple how they work. But yeah, this is only short. It's like, I don't know, 1.5 meters, the same width of the front of the combine, that auger. And then them other two there that are hydraulically driven, you can turn them on and off. And most of the time in cereals, you just use the belts. Just notice this has got little rubber blocks to stop the vibration. And I do think they should have it. They're designed to click off, you see, easily to get underneath, but maybe it needs a bead of silicone or something. Put grease on the one side and silicone on the other, and then it'll set, but it'll give it like a rubber bumper. Got the tape measure, just checking. It's definitely 12.3 meters long, so it's nearly 41 foot with the dividers. Did buy a combine, I don't know, 2001, and it had a 20-foot header. And when it arrived, I thought the header doesn't look as big as it did when I looked at the combine. And we had it for 4 or 5 years, and it was only when we went to trade it in that we realised it was an 18-foot header that was delivered, not a 20-foot header. So I don't know what went wrong there, but I think they delivered us the wrong header, and we didn't notice for years. Should have measured. So anyway, I've just checked this. I was hoping that it might be a wider one, and they'd badged it wrong, but it's not. Filling the sprayer up now, and then I've just been doing the maths. So this combine is the one I used to drive when I was 13. And that was when we farmed 180 acres. So on the maths of the acreage we're cutting now, I should have 3 combines with 40-foot headers on, or a 120-foot wide header, not one with a 40-foot header on. So it just shows you how much they've improved inside, that the efficiencies are there, that they're 3 times more efficient, plus the extra width as well. So that machine there will put 12 times more than the one that we used to have when I was 13 would cut. Stuck behind a fellow bateman driving doing 28 mile an hour. 28 kilometres an hour, sorry. Danny next door. Got some fly tipping in this field the other day. They've come in the gate behind the hedge, tipped there. This isn't the one where I found the addresses. We've tracked the reg, we know the company and the police that work for the local authority. There's a local authority employ a policewoman. She's going to look into it tomorrow. But hopefully, if we can find a van outside the house, go and speak to them, we might be able to take them. They're all a fly tipping back, plus a little bit of interest. Some grass on here now. David's got his front and his back mower on, so he's doing it with his because it's mower conditioner. We've not fixed our mower conditioner, and our other one's just a drum mower. So he's soon flattened this in the last hour. Kind of thought the conditioner would have fluffed it up a little bit more than it actually is, though, to be fair. Still quite intact. Like Fiona's filming him as well. Yesterday's quiz question was a gun for applying spray foam, expanding foam. Today's quiz question is, how many little knife sections are there on that combine if it's 12.3 metres wide? If you think you know, leave a comment below or have a guess, and I'll find out tomorrow. Well, I need to start before I end by thanking everyone that's watching, thanking everyone that's subscribing. 15,000 subscribers it's hit today. I can't believe it. It started as a joke, like I said. I thought 100 subscribers was a lot in the beginning. It's just incredible where it's got to. So thanks every one of you that's watching. Tomorrow, I've got a combine training course. Not sure how much of that I can film, but it should be interesting anyway. But like I say, thanks again for watching. Our head is obviously here. They're coming as well to do the rest of the PDI and get all that fixed and running as well. So that'll be in tomorrow's video. But slowly catching up on the spraying. Not a lot left to do now. A couple of days and broke the back of it again for this sort of period. And then that might be the last that some of it gets for a while then. Hopefully next week go and see the spray game being built as well, and it's serials on Wednesday and Thursday, which I'll be there for the NFU working for. So thanks everyone watching. I've got a great outro from Brendan as well. I'm going to put that up, Brandon, sorry, I'm going to put that on now. You can subscribe there and you can watch another video here, and thank you to everyone that's subscribing. And don't forget you can click that bell thing and it tells you when I put a video up each day as well, because I know the times vary depending on how late a day I finish. So see you tomorrow.